yogic science teaches us that when we do these yogic practices, when we take this higher knowledge, then two things happen. One is that we start to live a life of awareness. Every moment we are aware. And second thing is that we start to increase inner power, inner energy, inner strength starts to grow within us. Inner light, inner purity, all of that starts to increase. Now, if we take a look at our life, there are moments in our life when we sometimes get hurt or we feel little pain. Say someone who loves us dearly, a very close relative, just said something that caused pain. So now we are hurt. The person said it only once. All day in my mind that commentary is going. This is what he said. Why did he say that? I've never done anything wrong to him or her. I've always done good. Why me? Why always me? So these kind of questions are going in our minds all day and depletes so much of our energy. So think, if it happens so many times in a month, how much energy starts to deplete. This is where yoga helps us to increase that strength. And it varies. Say that we are several members in our family and one person said something not so pleasant, all 5 people heard it. Now, my question to you is, will all 5 people feel exactly the same way? Sure? Positive? That shows that everybody's inner power is slightly different because stimulus is the same. The stimuli, the situation that's coming from outside of some unpleasant words being said by our loved one is the same. Situation is the same. Person who's saying is the same. But the way it's perceived by each family member is slightly different. Now, if we work hard to train our mind, if we do yogic practices to increase that inner power, imagine you can reach to a point where you don't feel it. And this is where yoga teaches us that situations will continue to happen. People will continue to say what they feel is right. And that may not be right according to us. So, situation is coming from outside. People are uttering words from outside. But that creates thoughts within me that's happening here, inside me. And those thoughts then generate feelings inside me. I have a choice to generate a feeling of pain, or I have a choice to generate a feeling of balance, calmness. That's a decision that I make. When we are filled with that inner power, when our intellectual power rises up with yogic practices, then we make the right choice of staying calm. Situations will come, but how we create those thoughts within us will be completely dependent upon us. This is possible. That's a secret that yogic science teaches us. One way of living happy, healthy, peaceful and stress-free. But what do? Many times we just often say that I'm unhappy because of them, or I'm happy because of them, or I'm unhappy because of this situation, or I'm happy because of this situation. Isn't it? We are constantly blaming other people or this world or other situations for my happiness or for my hurt, pain that's in my life. Which means what I'm saying is that my mind that generates those thoughts is not in my control. My mind's remote control is in every single person's hands other than my hand. So when they press the button, I smile, and when they press the button, I'm sad. This is where yoga teaches us that situations will continue to happen, people will continue to say what they want to say, what they feel is right, and it may not be right according to us at that time. But if our attention, the time when they are saying unpleasant things or the time that unpleasant situation is happening with us, at that time if our attention is on them, why did they say this? Why are you saying this? If our attention is on them, then we can go into depression. We can become so sad that we can start to go downhill. But at that time, if we are awakened, if we are living with that awakened state of mind with the increased inner power, inner strength, then if we can make a choice to put our attention on ourselves, that they said what they needed to say and whatever has happened, but now how am I going to think is in my hands, and then what kind of feelings are going to create it in me is all in my hands. Do I want to create a happy feeling, state of balance feeling, or I want to create a feeling of hurt, sadness or pain, cause tension or stress, is a choice that I make. So when I stay awakened, when I'm alert, I am constantly making the right choices. Everyone agrees? Makes sense? We forget that we have a choice. Yes, we understand physically when we are kids, we can be beaten up, right? Physically, anybody can hit us. Financially also, as we grow big, somebody can cheat us financially also. All right? But can emotionally somebody hit us? Can emotionally somebody hit us? We're constantly blaming the world. But can someone go in our body? Can someone go into our body and beat us up? So what happens when somebody says something and now we listen to those unpleasant words? Then what do? We create those painful thoughts. Who's the creator? I create. Right? I'm creating those thoughts of pain. All day I'm thinking constantly about those thoughts. So I create the thought and I create that feeling. And then what I will say? That I will never forgive this person. Said so wrong things to me. I will never ever forgive this person. And what do? I'm never going to talk to this person again. And what are we doing? All day we are talking about them, thinking about them in our mind. Isn't it? all day continuously we don't think about anybody else but that person. And not only that, we are talking about that person to others also, isn't it? Do you know what she said? I went in there and can you imagine? How can they talk about me? I've never done anything bad. And we talk about them to everybody else other than them. Who needs to be told? So now it's up to me. Who's getting tortured here? Who's getting tortured here? Me or the other person? Other person doesn't even know. Who's torturing who? I am torturing my own self. I'm beating emotionally my own self. Now for how long I want to continue to think that way? For how long I want to continue to feel sad? For how many times I'm going to continue to beat me is all up to me. It's all up to me. And now when we do yogic practices, when we have this higher knowledge, we understand nobody has the password for our inner. For our emotional body, nobody has the password. Nobody knows. No one can get in other than me. So if I learn drop of this higher knowledge, when it accumulates, then I start to feel that inner strength is now rising. Where my inner strength is so much, where the outer situations and outer people cannot have an adverse impact on my life. And yes, we do reach to that state. It happens when we deepen the practice. Because two things. One is outer situation. One is inner situation. Right? Now, outer situation is completely out of our control. But inner situation, every day, if we work on it, we keep on increasing that inner light, inner purity, inner divinity. Time comes where what happens? Normally, outer situations create our inner situation, right? Whatever is happening in the outside creates me many times. But when we become yogic, truly yogic, when we start gaining this knowledge, then what happens? A transformation takes place. Now my inner situation actually impacts the outer. That's when, this is what we say, no matter how big the problem is, what do we say? Don't worry, I will take care of it. No big deal, I can handle it. Situation has no size, let me tell you. Situations, problems, happenings, people's words have no size. Who determines the size of a problem? My mind. Isn't it? Who determines the size of a problem? My mind. Now, if my mind is continuously every day seeking so much strength, so much knowledge, am I not going to reach to a point where I feel so strong that I don't feel it? Every problem I'm ready to handle, every situation I'm prepared to handle. Just like, say this table is very heavy, right? If I need to lift this up, I can't. I'll go near it and I'll look around it and say, I cannot lift it. And now if I have a plan, I start strengthening, my physical body, start making muscles, I can move it, right? And then there will be times I continue to increase my strength. I might be able to move it with one hand. Similarly, if we continue to increase strength here, retrain our mind, increase inner power, inner awakening, then when these kinds of heavy situations come in our life, painful situations come in our life, we are able to not get affected. And it's possible. So this is where yogic science teaches us, focus on yourself. Pay attention on yourself only. The moment your attention slipped from you to other person, there is a chance of you getting into sadness and depression. Otherwise, we can work out of 24 hours, we can work 18-20 hours and still feel light. This is called the power of mind. And that can be attained only and only through yogic practices. So yogic science teaches us that our inner qualities of Atman are peace, power, strength, light, purity. All of this is part of me. So my glass is full. It's already full with happiness, peace, health, positivity, strength. It's already full. Many times we want to do things to create happiness. That I will do this and then I will be happy. But yogic science teaches us, my glass is already full. I'm filled. I'm born filled with these qualities. Now what do I need to make sure? As I am doing my daily chores, as I'm interacting with the world, as I'm going to my workplace, I just have to make sure that that glass that's full is not spilled. Because every time I feel hurt, every time I get angry, every time I'm in pain, every time I'm jealous or I'm sad or I'm greedy, my glass that's full is spilling, it's leaking. I'm leaking that energy. So all I need to do is, I don't have to do anything. I just have to make sure that I take care of that as I am doing my worldly tasks from morning till evening, I make sure that I keep that balance, that I don't spill, I don't lose that balance, I don't get angry, I don't get hurt. Nobody's words should be able to hurt me. I don't think or feel sad or unhappy. That's the choice I need to make every moment of every day of my life. But what do? We say we are never going to forgive anyone, isn't it? The bigger the mistake, oh God, for him, not whole life. I'm not going to forgive him for the entire life. They made such a huge mistake. How could I? Isn't it? Many times we just say it. So, forgive. We don't want to forgive anyone. So, and we are not able to let go. So for how long we are going to continue to hold on to those painful words? For how long we are not going to let go the pain that those words have created? Many times people say it will take some time. Time is the healer. All it requires is one thought. One powerful thought that I'm sharing with you right now. One thought. I will not get hurt. I will not get hurt. For how long I want to allow my mind to continue to get tortured? For how long I want to continue to have sad thoughts? For how long I want to continue to complain is all up to me. One day I will have to do it. Why not now at this very moment and secure my peace? We are not forgiving anyone else. Actually, we forgive ourselves. When we do that, we stop hurting our own self by forgiving our own selves. And we secure that peace. So think, how can we accomplish that? Every day when we save some time in the morning, when we wake up in the morning, one thing is for sure, that we not start out our day by listening to the news or reading newspapers. Because in the morning, whatever fuel you're going to fill into your body is what's going to determine the quality of your day and quality of your life. If you fill in all these negative things and news that are happening around the world, in the morning you get up and you just turn the channel on and you listen to the news, all the criminal stuff and negative stuff that's happening, and you're going to fill that up, that is going to determine the quality of your entire day. So what did we do? Get up and just spend 15 minutes minimum to half an hour doing yogic practices or gaining higher knowledge or thinking positive, something that's going to fill us with the positive fuel, with positive energy. And then your whole day is going to go with positive, strong thoughts that will help you to maintain that balance. So how we start our day is very important. In the morning when you get up, just make sure the first few moments of your day, just like when we brush our teeth for a few minutes, only 2 minutes, right? But our teeth stay healthy all day, every day. Exactly the same way, when we spend few minutes of our day, every day, by gaining this higher knowledge, by increasing our yoga practices, then our inner strength, our inner awakening, our inner powers start to rise. And then we feel, yes, situations are coming, but when situations are happening, when people are not so nice to us, our attention is not on their words and not on their situations, but our attention is on my mind. What am I going to think? Just replay that someone said something not so sweet to you today. Replay that in your mind. Is it possible that you can still think positive in your mind? Is it possible? Is it possible? Because most of the times we don't take that one moment to think. Think about it. If somebody tells me, Anu, sit down. Now, Anu, stand up. Sit down and then stand up, right? They are telling me, but can they make me sit and can they make me stand? They have every right to tell me what to do and I have to listen, but to sit or to stand or to do what they are asking me to do or not to do is a choice. Whose choice? Mine or theirs? Exactly the same way. To feel the pain, to feel the hurt, or to stay balanced and not be effective is a choice that I have. I have that choice, but I forget. Most of the times, I'm always telling people I don't have a choice. So yogic science teaches us not only we have a choice, but we are powerful souls. We are pure points of energies. We have the power to think what we want to think, to feel what we want to feel, to do what we want to do every moment. Know your power, know your potential. Understand these things need to be repeated over and over again so that our mind gets it. That's why every session that we start with this yoga for brain. That mind needs clear instruction. Mind needs to understand what's right, especially at the time of need. Especially when we are going through pain, that is the time to understand, check, edit, change. Maybe for a moment, negative thought has entered in my mind, check, now edit, quickly change it. No, but I'm a powerful soul. I make my own decisions. I make my own choices. I am not at the mercy of outer situations or outer people. So tomorrow morning when you all get up, be very determined that today, no, situations will happen. People will work according to what they think is right. They will utter words according to what they think is right. But I am going to continue to think positive, and I am not going to allow myself to get tortured. I am not going to get myself hurt, and I will not allow any drops of pain in my body. With that determination, start your day and watch. When you give these clear instructions to your mind, what mind will continue to give back to you? That's called transformation. From that moment, your life will start to change. All required is one thought that I'm sharing with you. You only need this one thought. Carry it as a weapon in your pocket with you. And watch, when you have this one thought, then you don't need more time to change. You just need this one thought. And mind you, when you change, when you are full of strength, then so much more good happens, because now your family is going to gain the same strength. You go home and you're going to be filled with so much power and energy. You're going to vibrate the same, and your family will feel the same. And now you go to work and you're going to carry the same energy at your workplace, and now your work will be filled with that energy. So many lives are changed. That's why yogic science teaches us, when you change, when you transform, your world changes with you. The world that you live in, the world that's around you changes. Vaisi drishti, vaisi srishti. The way you see is how the world is. Now when you have the glasses of that wisdom that you're carrying through yogic practices, then what you're seeing through your eyes is what the world is. Your perception changes, your world changes, you change, but the stimuli, the circumstances, the situations, the people are still the same. But you're not the same. You're reborn every moment. You're reborn every moment, and that's what happens. So with these words of wisdom, we'll start our today's practice. Let's go ahead and stand up.